Yo, what's going on, everybody, man? Welcome to our first episode of Sparring Session. We're talking boxing. We're going to be covering a lot of topics, but today's episode, we focus on one man, and that's Shakur Stevenson. Give it up for him. Shakur Stevenson, 135-pound lightweight champion, 22-0, 10 knockouts. Recently, there's been a lot of controversy about his fights is boring. Nobody really want to see him. We here to talk about a little bit of that and see what y'all think. See what the fans want to know. See what the fans want to do. See what the fans want to see. That's going to continue to make boxing exciting. Let's start from him moving up in weight to the 135-pound division. He moved up in weight. He ended up fighting Edward De Los Santos for a vacant WBC title that Devin Haney once held. Devin Haney left the WBC vacant title at 135 to move up the fight at 140 where he fought Regis Prograis. He won that belt and then went on to fight Ryan Garcia. Before Devin Haney moved up in the 140 division, he actually offered Shakur Stevenson contract. Now in the contract, he stated that because he was the A side of the fight, that he would receive 75%, Shakur Stevenson would receive 25%. Shakur Stevenson said no. Why he said no, I have no clue. Because that would have propelled him to the top of the boxing ranks. Because 25% or 50%, if you beat Devin Haney at that point, which you said you could beat him and you would beat him, why not take the 25%, beat him, and now you become the A side because they definitely guarantee going to want a rematch, or you're going to propel yourself to get you on bigger fights. He didn't want to do that. He was a great featherweight, but now at lightweight, he's starting to be tested a lot more. At lightweight, his I think he only had maybe 3 fights. We know his first fight at lightweight was the Japanese dude Yoshimo. That was a landslide. He washed him up. No problems. I believe he even stopped him in that fight. I'm not 100% sure. His next fight after that was De Los Santos for the belt, for the vacant WC belt. I'm not trying to take nothing away from Shakur because the boy got skills. When it comes to skill set, the boy got skills. But the flaws in his game is that he don't want to be hit. He don't like to be hit. So in that fight against De Los Santos, he won a unanimous decision to win the belt. But they also set a CompuBox record for the least amount of punches thrown in a 12-round fight. Like, you got to get in there and throw some punches. You got to get in there and let your hands go. And in his most recent fight, he fought a guy, a German guy, Artem, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. He was definitely a tough competitor. He was definitely a tough opponent. But this is also the same guy that 2 fights previous, Artem fought Frank Martin, and Frank Martin was able to stop him in 10 rounds. Knockout. So in order for Shakur to look impressive, or for the fans to even think that he's an impressive fighter, he had to go in there with knockout on his mind. He'd been telling the fans he's going to knock this guy out, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. And he did. It went the distance. It was a boring fight. They fought in his hometown of Jersey. He was booed during the fight. He was booed during the De Los Santos fight. So, the fans want to see a little bit more excitement. Now he's calling out he want to fight Tank Davis. Me personally, I think it's a no-go. I don't even think Tank Davis should entertain that fight because you haven't proven yourself to be on a level of a Tank Davis. And when I say you haven't proven it, meaning that take some fights before Tank. Fight some dudes that Tank fought, beat them dudes up to show Tank that I'm on the same level that you want. I'll give you an example. Rolly Romero. Fight Rolly. He's probably the weakest one out there. You know what I'm saying? Or fight Mario Barrios. Fight Isaac Cruz, Pitbull Cruz. Even fight who Tank just fought, the Ghost, Frank Martin. You know what I'm saying? You never know. There's a lot of names out there bigger then the competition that you've been fighting, instead of just jumping out there and say you want Tank, you ain't ready for Tank. Straight up. In no category. Pay-per-view wise, selling out seats wise, money wise, power wise, skill wise, yes, but fight wise, no. You don't want to take a punch. You're going to try to get in there and run around and do all that. We don't want to see that. Right now, we don't know where you're going to end up. You was a top-ranked fighter. And I think, honestly, in my opinion, I think Top Rank held you back from a lot of fights that you could have got with some of these top-name boxers, because I was reading the thing that Frank Martin actually tried to get a fight with you, but Top Rank dubbed it. Isaac Cruz actually tried to get a fight with you, but Top Rank couldn't come to negotiations with Isaac Cruz. Devin Haney sent you a contract over. Obviously, you didn't agree to the terms and you couldn't accept it. But those is three top fighters right there. Had you fought those dudes and got past those dudes, then it would have said a lot more to your resume. It would have looked a lot better to the fans. Now you're in contract dispute. You're in contract negotiations with other promoters and things like that. And I mean, let's go over the promoters who's out there. You got Top Rank, who you were already signed to. Top Rank offered you $15 million for 5 fights, which is $3 million a fight. You've already turned that down. You said no. Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing, he made a statement recently that said that he can't even offer you the same money that Top Rank is offering you. So whatever he's going to offer you is going to be lower than the $15 million, $3 million a fight for 5 fights. We got Al Heyman at PBC. Al Heyman haven't even stepped into the ring and said anything yet as far as offering you a contract or doing anything. And finally, we have Golden Boy, who up until recently now has just stepped into the arena that said they'll offer you a fight with their number one guy right now, William Zepeda, who's the number one contender in every one of the organizations, the WBC, the WBA, WBO, IBF. William Zepeda is the number one guy out there at 135. And Golden Boy is saying that they can get you a fight with Zepeda only on the one condition, that you sign with Golden Boy Promotions. Now, signing with Golden Boy Promotions, I don't have the details. I don't know what does that entail as far as purse, as far as pay-per-view, as far as anything. But we do know, I want to say that Golden Boy fights under DAZN, which would give you a better pay-per-view viewership than what Top Rank has previously given you in terms of an ESPN viewership. Let's see where it goes. I know your last few fights, when you fought the Japanese guy Yoshino, you was $1 million was your purse. You fought Herring, you made 1.7. You fought Toko Khan, you made 500,000. You fought Caraballo, 450,000. Even your last fight with RTM, your purse was 1.5 million. I mean, I think it's a jump up. If you go from 1.5 million to now $3 million, especially if you're not a pay-per-view fighter, especially if you're not putting asses in the chairs, especially if your last 6 or 7 fights, well, I'll say 5 out of your last 7 fights have been in your hometown of New Jersey, and you can't even fill out the arena hometown. And you're getting booed hometown. I think you need some better people in your corner to more assist you on the business side of boxing and not just I'm Shakur Stevenson and I'm nice and I want to get this type of money. You got to fill the seats. You got to make people want to come see you. You got to have more exciting fights that the fans are going to come out for, that the fans want to see. The fans don't want to see you fight RTM. The fans don't even really want to see you fight Tank Davis at this point, because as a fan, from a perspective, it's either going to be one of two things. It's either you're going to be running around for 12 rounds or you're going to stand and fight. And if you stand and fight, we know there's going to be a knockout. Tank Davis is going to knock you out because you don't want to get hit and you don't have the punching power to stop none of these guys. So Go back to the drawing board, talk to your team. Like I said, you're a very well-rounded fighter. You just got to work on staying in there and letting your hands go. In order to give a hit, you got to take a hit. Your defense is good, but your fights are boring. And boxing is entertainment. We have to be entertained. The people who pay the money to come out and see you, you got to be able to draw in the big celebrities. You got to be able to draw in the people that's spending $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 for ringside seats, where everybody is talking about it in a celebrity world of, this is where I want to be. I want to be at a Shakur Stevenson fight. Nobody's coming to the Prudential Center in New Jersey to watch Shakur Stevenson. That's why no big names was there. People want to be able to go to Las Vegas, where the big money is at, and pull up and say, yo, we pulling up to the Shakur Stevenson fight. That's what we want. We want to see you fight somebody exciting. We want to see you fighting Lomachenko. We want to see you fighting Devin Haney. We want to see you fighting Mario Barrios. We want to see you fighting Isaac Cruz. We want to see you fighting the Ghost Frank Martin. And maybe even Ryan Garcia, if he's able to get himself back together and come off this suspension and all of these type of things. Those are the exciting fights that we want to see you in. But you have to be able to give and take a little bit. You're not going in against none of these fighters being the A side, because all these fighters are proven fighters that fill the seats. Let's see what happens. Good luck to you. I think you have a great career in boxing ahead of you. I just don't want you to jump out and jump the gun and want to take on a Tank Davis and he mess up your career down the line, or he mess up your bag money-wise down the line, trying to jump ahead or trying to skip the line, to fight this guy. Think about some of them other guys, man. Like I said, Zepeda should be a good fight for you. Edward De Los Santos was a great fight, but it was boring because you took the defensive route. Granted, you hurt your hand during that fight. We'll give you a pass. You didn't hurt your hand during RTM, and everybody was asleep. Fans was leaving. You started beefing with your promoter, saying Bob Arum paid people to leave. Why would he pay people to leave the fight? Y'all should have been paying people to show up, so you'd have had a bigger turnout, so it would have looked like more fans were sitting in the seats, especially in your hometown. When they put fights in your hometown, it's geared towards you being able to fill the seats, and you couldn't do that. So we don't want to see Tank right now. Forget about it. Think about some of them other names. Have your corner, have your people, or you don't got no promoter right now. You're in negotiations. Try to figure out what your next move is going to be, man. Good luck to you, champ. Keep up the good work. And we want to see some more exciting fights, man. You know what I'm saying? And this is an episode of Sparring Session, man. We're going to be talking about a lot more exciting things, man. We got a lot of exciting fighters out there. We got a lot of exciting fights that the fans want to see and we want to see made. So stay tuned, man, and keep in tune with the culture.